Hey everybody, it's Tooth Time with Dr. Amy again, and today's episode is tooth development. So bringing it way back to how and when our teeth develop. Last time we talked about how the time you can expect a tooth to grow in is around 6 months old, but believe it or not, many months before that, almost a full year before that, while the baby's in your belly, you are already experiencing them forming their teeth. So in utero, around 20 to 28 weeks, that's during the second trimester, those teeth are finishing up calcifying and forming. So for me, I'm pregnant right now and I am 32 weeks, so that means that those teeth are already calcified and formed. And then around birth is when the permanent teeth start to form. So the first set of permanent molars actually happen around birth. So something that you may note in people, you may sometimes see like a tooth could have like a little yellow spot or like a white fleck or a brown area. That is known as hypoplasia. Hypo meaning less mineralized, the way the tooth develops. So where you're not seeing that perfect pearly white, it's usually related to tooth development. It can also be related to trauma, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. So when we see that hypoplasia, it can be related to certain instances where the enamel was disrupted and didn't get that perfect formation. So things like taking antibiotics, having a high fever, recurrent ear infections, things like that can mess with the way the enamel forms. So while being pregnant, it's really important for various reasons to stay healthy. And one of them would be to hopefully avoid having to take antibiotics. So for me, towards the end of my first trimester, I had a really bad sinus infection and I did need to take antibiotics. And for that, everything is risk versus benefit. And when the benefits outweigh the risks, you need to do it. So for me, I did have to do that, but knowing that around that time was when those teeth were developing and hoping that it's not having too much impact on the babies. And also for your child, when they're around birth or anytime during their childhood when these teeth are developing, if they have recurrent ear infections, they experience high fevers, if they have to take strong antibiotics, that can mess with the way the permanent teeth are developing. So for us, I don't know how many of you know, but our son was born a little over 5 weeks early, and he did have some time in the NICU, and they had to give him antibiotics. So for me, as a both pediatric dentist and mommy, I was not really thrilled about that and worried a lot about his teeth. But at that given point in time, it's his permanent teeth that were starting to develop. So we actually won't know for a few more years if what happened in that given point in time will actually affect his permanent molars. So while pregnant, it is really important to maintain good oral hygiene. Make sure you are up to date with your dental checkups. If you have active cavities that need to be fixed, if you're overdue for a cleaning, really important that you keep everything super healthy so you don't have anything going on in your own mouth. The most common infectious disease, believe it or not, and infectious disease obviously is quite a buzzworthy thing these days, is dental cavities, caries. And the biggest culprit here is our sugar bugs, Streptococci mutans. So inside our mouth, there are many strains of bacteria, some good, some bad. Strep mutans, those are the ones that cause cavities. And there's different virulencies, how violent they affect your mouth. And some people have ones that are not so bad, and some people have the bad ones that do cause those cavities. And if you think about it, like everyone's been to, I guess, the mall, well, not the mall, not lately, but if you're at the mall and there's a screaming kid and they throw their pacifier on the floor and mom picks it up and licks it and sticks it right back in that kid's mouth. If mom has any active decay, has had any cavities in the past, any fillings, and she has that strain of Streptococci mutans that are not good, that are cavity causing ones, she actually just inoculated her kid with all those bacteria. So when you hear people say, oh, they have bad teeth, it runs in my family, it's genetic. Yes, there is a genetic component, but there's also vertical transmission where through the generations it can get passed either from, kissing on the lips, giving them the pacifier that you just licked, and not just mom. It could be spouse, dad, whoever eats off the same spoon and then feeds it to them. So it's really important to maintain good oral hygiene. And I think that's about it for today. I hope you guys learned something, had something to take away from it. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a great day. Bye.